Alright folks, hello and welcome to another Modern stream. The downtime is just ended, so we might have some trouble in a couple of ways. Number one, Twitch has been having issues today, not sure why that is, but basically every stream that I was watching was having problems. So hopefully we don't have that many issues today, but you know, I don't want to count us out. And number two, it's because the leagues are actually very empty right now. There's not that many people in the leagues just yet because they have been live for like a couple of minutes only. So it might take longer to get us to play our games. But yeah, what I wanted to do today is we're going to continue working on this idea of adding Karn the Great Creator to literally every single deck, and obviously Green White Reclaimer counts as every single deck, so we're gonna continue working on this. The changes that I'm making from the last time that I streamed this list is I made a switch of the Voiles for the Relics. I think that there are a couple of decks right now that make me really want to play Relic, and number one, and more importantly, is the Omnath deck. There's the new version of the Omnath deck that basically doesn't play Field of the Dead and doesn't do anything like that, but the idea is it just goes all in on Time Warp, and they win by just taking infinite turns, which I think it's kind of a big deal. So having access to relics that we can fetch game one and then we can side in game two seems like kind of a big deal for us. So we're gonna see how that works. Interesting hand. I guess we can do better than this. We're on the draw too, so yeah, this is a lot better. Guess I want to bottom Skyclave. Best draw obviously would be an untapped green source. Opponent says hi chat. So say hi to my opponents. Yeah, I don't know which one's better. Cling to dust their own thing. Try it. Okay. So I guess our best draw would be a bounce land here. What's my opponent on? Just black-green mid-range. Blood Moon. Oh, Liliana. I'm gonna pitch one of these Path to Exiles. Definitely pretty sad that I decided to keep the Path instead of keeping the Skyclave. Obviously, Skyclave would be significantly better than the stupid Path to Exile. Not that I could cast the Skyclave anyway, but yeah, that sucks. Is Kaldheim Niblo? Kaldheim's gonna be illegal tomorrow. And it's gonna be impossible to get the cards for a couple of days, and then we're finally gonna be able to do the thing. Later. We have to get Biting Needle here, I think. We could get No, we have to get Needle. Because if my opponent, if they bolt the Karn, we're fucked, right? So now we have to dodge discard spell. They used to already, yeah. Good. Feeling very smart here. Feeling very smart here. Of course, unless my opponent has... like Call Against Command, and then we're probably losing. But I don't think that playing around K Command is the way to go here. Playing snow covered basics. They're probably bluffing What is this? 4 mana? Oh, cling. They're just clinging in step. Honestly, I would kind of love to find like a Karn or something. Obviously, like Titan is the best draw, right? Like Titan just comes down and wins the game, so there we go. What's up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna get Field of the Dead and we have a fetch land, so we don't really need a basic. Blast Zone? We could get a basic just so we can get... Let's get a basic just so if my opponent untaps and Blood Moons us, we have access to... We can... we have double white for operations, what I mean. Like, if we untap, we win anyway, right? So at this point, I'm just thinking, okay, how can I possibly lose this game? And the way that I do is... It's something like that. Blood Moon into stuff. And I think I'm attacking this Liliana. Again, I'm kind of afraid of my opponent having Colon's command. Like, it's not unlikely nor impossible for them to have K command. So, and there's the Blood Moon, which we have answers to because I masterfully played around it. Dryad. I mean, things are looking pretty good for us anyway. Nada mejor que tu stream para mejorar un día de mierda. Menos mal, Santos. Menos mal que podemos mejorar un poco la situación. Pero sí, lástima que estés teniendo un día complicado. Ojalá que se ponga mejor ahora. The only thing I don't like about this list is how it's too many colorless cards, right? Pretty unfortunate. This makes sense to me. Let's go with that. Relic is interesting. Like, it replaces itself. Let's do something like this, see what happens. I think we usually have a solid matchup against this red-black mid-range deck. They can't pressure us quickly enough. And we have so many answers to Moon. So whenever we get Moon, it's not even that big of a deal. Even more so with this list, like we're even playing Karn, so even if our opponent moons us, we're kind of fine. They really struggle to beat the Wormcoil engine. Like we have a lot of things going for us. Well, this hand is slow. I think it's keepable though. It dodges Inquisition, which is funny. Getting a duel. So my opponent could have Ashiok, so let's play this. And if they have the Moon, we at least get a second forest into play so we can Titan down the road. So here comes the Moon. Like, it's not good for us, but like I don't think we care that much. Like, if my opponent doesn't have pressure here, this Moon is not really doing too much, and the board has been empty for a while now, and would have been nice to find a this for a white source, but I guess it's okay. What am I getting with Karn? Because I'm obviously going to be doing some wisdom, particularly after my opponent showed me. My opponent just showed me the thingy. What's his name? Vomit. Well, I didn't expect that one. Dreadbore is what I was gonna say, but that's a pretty solid top deck. That one is not. That's pretty funny. I guess I didn't bring in Knight of Autumn. Why didn't I bring in Knight of Autumn? That was just stupid of me. That was just an oversight. That was just an oversight. No real excuse there. So opponent is one short of getting back Croxa. Gonna get 2 basic planes here. Opponent's gonna minus, kill the Titan. This Liliana's doing a lot of work. This Liliana, I mean, honestly, like the Liliana's not really the one doing the most work. This is what's doing a lot of work, right? Like if I had been able to like play Karn and minus, like we would be winning this game pretty handily, but it's not quite the situation that we find ourselves in right here. Obviously gonna play out the Karn just because if at any point we find, well, I guess we have no answers to the Spidey Needle. So maybe it is kind of pointless to put that Karn in play. So Croxa's coming back here. Wow, Spidey Needle is brutal. How are we winning this game? It's a pretty good step 1. So I guess we kill the Croxa. And I guess we attack the Liliana. My opponent's gonna minus. But that puts Liliana at 1, so if I draw a Titan, we're actually in fine shape. Because they're not gonna be able to minus on it, and then we get to crack back at the Titan. So Lily's at 1. Opponent in the Mono Moonstraw. Something good, please? One time? That's not something good. Okay, so we are falling behind now. We need the top of our deck to be kind to us. So I guess we're gonna get a Dryad because it's the only thing that we can realistically cast here. It also opens up more stuff for us. Like this plays into Boil, but I don't think I'm playing around Boil here. If my opponent top decks exactly Boil, I'm just ready to just back it in. Unfortunate that we didn't have enough white mana to just Skyclave, kill the Needle, and then we just win with Karn, but I have Apparition, but like there's a Liliana on board, right? If I don't put anything into play, my opponent simply pluses Liliana and we discard the Apparition, so that doesn't seem like the best play. Holding on to that for Cake Command purposes, I think. That is very messed up. That was an insane draw for my opponent. So we kind of have to find Apparition right now. Oh, wow. Well, that was very fortunate for them. Apparition, off the top. Nice and easy. How about Bojugi Ball instead? Maybe not quite. So now we are in trouble. That was a very timely top deck for my opponent. That was a very, very timely top deck for my opponent there. And then chaining Pyro into Pyro puts like 4. They draw a bunch of cards. They put 4 into play. Eesh. And my opponent's not an idiot, and they minused on themselves. So unfortunate. Okay. It's not a bad one. Cycle. Damn it. My opponent's not playing a run operation. They could have clocked the Pyromancer and they didn't. They could have clocked the Karn and they didn't. They're going face. So if we do find an apparition, we get to apparition minus Karn, get Wormcoil, and we're in this game. But it has to be exactly apparition. I mean, this one's not the worst, obviously, but my opponent probably has like a million answers to this. Oh, they milled 2 Pyro tokens. They milled 2 Season Pyros. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. They're gonna get even more tokens here. Okay. Now my opponent decided they want to attack Karn. No, they don't want to attack Karn. They want to go face. Okay, they want to go face. Down to 2. Yep. Up until that time, we still had answers to the apparition. We still had the out of drawing the apparition and going for Wormcoil. I think it was a little bit risky of my opponent to not go after the Karn there. If I had been my opponent, I would have certainly cleared the Karn away. But we couldn't punish them. Couldn't punish them. Good old Triple Moon. Yeah, of course, every copy after the first one, you know, has diminishing returns. I think it's correct of my opponent to play them out anyway, though. That Bitey Needle, though. Oof. Disgusting. Keep this one. That Bitey Needle was certainly disgusting. That was basically the entire game already, honestly. If my opponent hadn't found that Bitey Needle, I think that we win that game very easily with Karn, but just came down in the nick of time before I was able to get my Karn value. We do have Splinter Twin with this hand, so that's pretty good. Yeah, this hand is great. We have a basic for Blood Moon. We have a Splinter Twin. We have an answer to an Ashiok, Blood Moon, Liliana, you name it. Knight of Autumn against Bitey Needle, or even stuff like Blood Moon. Bitey Needle would be rough here on turn 1. Hopefully you don't have push. Cheers from Germany. Hey, Rancid Flesh, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Explore is pretty solid there. I like it, not so much, but isn't it like super cold? I talked to my brother earlier today, and he was saying that it's super cold right now in Germany, and it's like raining. It's below 0 degrees Celsius, and it's somehow raining instead of snowing. Truly the last modern streamer. I have no interest in the early access standard event. Just some good old classic models, all I want. Glad to see your stream. Oh, yeah, thank you, JK Torbord. Yeah, Moto basically just went live, so Hiding Needle. This does seem like bait, but it kind of doesn't matter whether this is bait or not. Like, we just have to Knight of Autumn this anyway, because I can't cast the Knight of Autumn otherwise, right? So let's play the field here. My opponent's gonna moon me, and then we're gonna need to cycle this card of the groves. But if we top deck a Karn, we're probably in okay shape. So here comes the moon, obviously. The most obviously telegraphed moon of all time, but there was nothing really that we could do about it. And I'm gonna cycle here on end step to play around my opponent's potential discard spells. Because if I draw a card, I can't cast it, right? So I want to make sure that it doesn't get stuck in my hand and I just get Thoughtseize or something, you know. Reclaimer is not bad, actually. Reclaimer allows me to get my basics. So hopefully I don't have Lightning Bolt this turn, or... I mean, this Magmatic Channel... Oh, wow, that's gross. That is gross. Pitching the Croxat to the Channeler is kind of disgusting. They're probably going to get back the Croxat, so this is going to get exiled forever, but... Brutal. Okay. Okay. Do you think Green White Karn is better than Green White Reclaimer? No, I don't. Reclaimer's a 3/4. Heyo. Pass the turn. So we're gonna need to draw a Purge or something pretty good here. But this Croxa is gonna destroy us. I don't think we can afford to take the damage, so we just have to chomp here. Liliana's very good. We're gonna get a basic plains here. This is bad if we drop Primeval Titan, but c'est la vie. Brutal. I guess it was more likely for us to draw a Titan than for us to draw an Eldrazi Skull or Celestial Purge, so maybe it was correct for me to go for a forest there. Insta punished, yep. Yep. Kind of brutal how that game played out. It's just so unfortunate that my opponent had the removal on turn 1. And then they had the discard into, like, they just had every one of their cards just lined up in the perfect way against me. They have the discard for the Purge. They had the, like, we basically were forced into playing the Knight of Autumn because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to play it later. Everything just lined up in the perfect way for my opponent, and it left us in a very, very awkward position. Hey, Beefus. We're really playing against the same deck back to back. This deck is not even that good. At least I don't think it's very good. Let's play this. I'm gonna be fetching for plains because they do play main deck Blood Moon, so. Okay, it's not the same deck. Or it's a just worse version of the same deck. That's another option. Yeah, let's get a basic plains here. It's not good, but it's not bad either. It's just medium. If we find another land... Oh. This is just Jund? Like Boomer Jund. This is just Boomer Jund. Yep, just Boomer Jund. I think I'm pitching... No, Yeah, okay, I'm pitching the Dryad. The reason for that is, like, I think Explorer is more valuable than the Dryad here because it replaces itself. And now we just have a guaranteed Titan, don't we? So if my opponent has Thoughtseize, that would be annoying. So hopefully we have to dodge second Thoughtseize. Inquisition is fine because we're just gonna get a second Titan here. Renentix is irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. I think we just have to hope that the last card in hand is not a second Thoughtseize. Looks like it isn't, so we should be in good shape here. So, Field of the Dead, Bojuka Bog. And now Titan just carries. Yep. Prime time! Boomer Jund. In this economy, what is my opponent even thinking? What is my opponent even thinking? Like, there's an actually playable version of that deck, opponent. It just cuts the green to play good cards instead. I strongly recommend you check that out. Remember searching for Colony to play around Lily? Oh yeah, those were the times. Those were the times. Temple Garden? I guess that we could draw Apparition. We get to untap. Don't mind if I do. First time player I ever played against had 4 Gardens to play around Vengevines. Wait, what? How does that even work? Nice Inquisition. Yep. We're just jumping my opponent hard over here. Tarmogoyf, you say. My Tarmogoyf is better. It's just 3-4, just like yours, but it's just better. Because it wins the game. Just block for days. Oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna spin the wheel. Bloodbraid Elf. How can anybody ever beat such value? Such value. It's basically unprecedented amounts of value. What could I ever do to beat such insane amounts of value? I mean, it seems basically unbeatable, right? Like my opponent cascaded into a Seasoned Pyromancer. What am I supposed to do when that happens to me? Friends don't let friends play Jund. Friends don't let friends play Jund. Would have shit yourself if you flipped Fabled off of that. I mean, people are gonna try it, but and it's funny how my opponent was in the 0-1 bracket, so Jund is such a cool deck. I mean, depends on what you find cool. But yeah, it's a fun deck. Still have my 75 Jund sleeved up, but it's really bad right now. It was never good. I don't think... Since Death Ray Shaman was banned, I don't think that that Jund was actually good ever. But it's one of those decks that kind of created the illusion that it was good. So a lot of people would just play it. And if enough people play it, eventually it gets to a point where... if enough people play it, eventually it gets to a point where results are going to start happening just because of the amount of people playing the deck. Like, it's just going to happen. So we have options here. We have very interesting options, in fact. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore and play Ghost Quarter. I'm very, very tempted to play that Reclaimer, but I think I might just die. Like, if my opponent has... Oh, I guess... Oh, no, I actually miscounted. Like, they don't have a Sigardas I didn't play. Yeah, so this was a mistake. I should have played the second Reclaimer there. In fact, I should have just activated... Oh, okay. I guess they had that. Alright, we're in a lot of trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. We can't win anymore, right? They're attacking for just 11? I can take 11. Oh, that is so good for me. Okay, so what I needed to happen to not just straight up lose actually did happen, which is great for me. So let's fetch for basic planes here. And I am going to assume... So this is gone. I am going to assume that my opponent doesn't have another paladin, because I don't think I can beat a second paladin. So we're just going to assume that my opponent doesn't have it. So because we're assuming that my opponent doesn't have it, I'm going to make the play that leaves me in the best position next turn. If they have second paladin, we just lose. But we cannot beat the second paladin, so... And there it is. Okay. So the line here is to activate Ink Moth, equip the Colossus Hammer for 0. I mean, maybe my opponent doesn't see the line. I don't know. Yeah, they don't see the line. Sweet. Okay, so we actually have a shot here. They have lethal. They activate Ink Moth, they equip the hammer, then they activate Ink Moth again, and they attack in the air, where I can't block. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Like, we're forced to triple jump here, so... Man, Karn would have been great. Okay, so Knight of Autumn's good, Karn's good. We want the paths, don't want Bog. Parisian's good. I'm gonna cut it prime time. Opponent's board looks insane, ban Uro. Yeah, Uro too broken. Uro too busted. Opponent, just keep banning Karn until my pet deck is playable. Then and only then I will be happy. Yeah, that's basically the modern players' mindset. Just ban everything. Ban it all. Make Mono Blutron great again. Yeah, this hand is not keepable, unfortunately. This one, I guess it is. Ban Summoner's Pact. Whatever makes you happy, my friend. Nothing wrong with Summoner's Pact. Everything's wrong with Summoner's Pact. Second call is not great, I guess. Could be okay. Okay, so now we're gonna have to path one of these, otherwise they protect each other and it's a nightmare. That sucks. So they got the hammer. So I guess we're calling for Dryad. Damn it. And we have to path right now. They want feed the swarm. We are getting to very abstract points with our ban talk. Oh no! They had the 0. Yeah, this hand did not work out. Give her runes. Mismatching planes opponent, come on. Yeah, my opponent definitely does not know about the make imp multiplier trick. Creeping corrosion. 1 and 2 is not where I want to be, but missing land drops in the 32 land deck. Not where I want to be either. Sure. So this hand is fine against any mid-range deck or control deck. It's not good against Ad Nauseam though. Unless we find the Karn. Oh yes. Best draw step against Ad Nauseam. Yes. Best draw step possible. Oh yes! Yes! We're so doing it. We are so doing it, chat. Firing on all cylinders. I'm not gonna not get value here though. We have to find exactly Karn the Great Creator, I think. And we need to of course not die, which is not easy, but we get, yeah, bottom that one. Can we find the Karn? To be fair, this is one of the matchups that Karn does help with. We don't have lethal even next turn, so I think it's better to like dig. Vomit. At least I can path my opponent past a circle. So at least we get some meme value. Opponent. I would be very, very surprised if we are not dead when my opponent untaps. Super surprised. Some people might even say super priced. Right? Surprised. Super surprised. Super priced. No? Too much? It probably is too much. Probably too much. Well, the good thing about my opponent disconnecting right here is that we get to... I get to open this wrap. And we get to start digging into this deliciousness. Yes, yes. Rub it up. Rub it up. Rub it up. There you go. I got you. It wasn't a slow roll, my opponent just was disconnected. I'm gonna keep this hand and be very sad whenever it doesn't pan out. Let's put on the Valakut. Karn. Yes, more Flagstones is exactly what I need. Karn, come to me. Karn, I summon you. Karn, the great creator, I summon you. No second land, you say, huh? No second land. Well, this is not looking good. I'm feeling pretty dead here. One, two, three. 1, 2. So we activate here with white floating. So I guess we should be good. So we get a Temple Garden, that's the 6th land. Field of the Dead. Play land. Call. For Eidolon. No, we're gonna get Eidolon. Eidolon is significantly better than Teague in this matchup. Ad Nauseam can kill you without casting Ad Nauseam. At least we are getting a 2-for-1 here. I would certainly love to be drawing something good here. Okay, so let's say that I attack. We're gonna get... The opponent goes down to 16. We're gonna get 2 more zombies plus 3 more zombies. So that's already lethal. So I guess I don't want to run into Bontu's Last Reckoning, so I'm just gonna hold on to this. What's up, House? How's it going? Putting together yesterday's episode. Nice, nice. Yesterday was a good one. It's probably one of my favorites that we recorded so far. So we're gonna get my opponent down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plus 3. So we're just gonna get Blast Zone here. And this dude's gonna serve. So my opponent has 1 turn. And I'm gonna go after the Black Source, I think. Because I think that they play Plains, but I don't know if they play a second black. Yep. So now hopefully I don't have Ad Nauseam. Okay, so we're just fucked. Did you just set the Oracle me? Would have been great to find a Karn. Let's say what my opponent named, because that tells you a lot about the Ad Nauseam's player, you know. They named Blood Moon with the Ad Nauseam. That's pretty funny. Okay, I respect that. I respect the Blood Moon name there. Excuse you, Stabs. I'm 1 and 3 with a real deck. All right, let's see if we can get our 2-3. This hand is not good, but it's okay against the Lurrus deck. Hammer Time really is all the rage, huh? Stoneforge Mystic resolves. Yeah, for real, right? Something similar to Affinity is legal and people are going nuts over it. And honestly, I don't think it's that similar to Affinity. When I played it the other day, like, I did play a little bit of Affinity back in the day, and it didn't really strike me as particularly Affinity-ish. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Okay, never mind. It is affinity. My opponent might be new to the deck because they didn't mulligan to an equipper. When I tried the deck last week, it seemed pretty apparent after a couple games that if you don't have an equipper, you're just playing an underpowered affinity deck. And that's what my opponent is doing right now. Opponent. So I think I'm going to copy Blast Zone here. So you get another shot at that. But I'm definitely cracking main phase here because I want to... I don't want my opponent to have the mana from the Paralyzed Mantle. And I guess we can't block that, so we're just going to serve with the Reclaimer. Never underestimate the power of onboard tricks. Maybe I was debated. Is it possible that I was debated? Wow. Guess I was debated. I badmouth the new set. We talked about it in the cast, and I don't think it's going to be very impactful for what's worth. Put Lurrus in hand. Feels bad. Nah, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Oh yeah. And then my opponent simply play themselves here. Now we can path this. Will I test Cosima in Amulet? No. Unless somebody wants to like donate for a meme league or something. If people want to do fun stuff for meme value, maybe I'll do something like that, but there are no playable cards in the new set. None of them. 0. 0 cards are playable. Sure. Playing out the Lurrus. Yeah, basic snow lands. Alright, you got me. So let's think of worst case scenarios here. Let's say that my opponent they top deck another paladin. No, this is still fine because I can make I can make a ghost quarter. So this is fine. Now the thing is, do I want... What do I want to do with this Titan? Like, do I want to hold up Ghost Quarter? What do I lose to here? It kind of feels like garbage time right now, but I think that that was a very preemptive concession from them. All it takes is for them to draw like another paladin and they're in this game again. You think the Sultai two-sided god is unplayable? Yes, in Modern. You can't just spend 3 mana to put a 3/3 into play that your opponent is just going to very, very easily bolt and expect it to be good. Like that's just not something that flies in Modern. It doesn't fly like an Igmoth Nexus flies, you know. Difficile asked about a dono. Would you be willing to do a couple of Grixis Shadow Donor Leagues? I know it's not good right now, but I would like to see where it struggles and find the more... Yeah, for sure, Difficile. Here's your... There are your links. Thanks, Stabs, for watching out. Well, this hand does have a Karn. I think we have... yeah, we have to ship it. We have like 1 turn to draw a green source. That's just not enough. These hands make me very... Nope, not that one. That one. These hands make me very sad, but it is what it is. New set is Garbo, I think. Oh, yes! Yes! Castle Undervale in the 10 land deck or something. People's greed just has no limits. New set is Garbo. I don't think that you have to call the set garbage. Like, honestly, it's great that it doesn't break every single fucking format, right? I'm so tired of every single set just coming out and then breaking every fucking format. Like, that's just not... It's just not realistic. Like you just cannot keep up with that. So I'm not gonna be doing reclaimer thing. So I think I'd rather attempt to draw into stuff and put that exactly. Man, I'm so good. How can somebody be this good? So next turn we have Dryad. We're setting up a Titan and we are holding up a Path to Exile. Yeah, I was watching LSV draft the set earlier, and it looked fun. Unfortunately, his Twitch was being weird today, so his stream was kind of unwatchable, which it's really unfortunate. Most people are not doing drafts today on the streamer event. Most people are doing constructed, so it was cool to see LSV. It was cool to see him doing drafts. I've actually been drafting a fair amount offline. It's not like I'm gonna be a limited streamer by any means, but especially because I don't think that people would be very interested in watching me play limited. The few times I've done it, I've had like 10 viewers or something like that. So we're probably not gonna go down that path. But I've been playing a reasonable amount of limited while offline. was the best draft format that I've played. Certainly MH1 draft. MH1 is far and away my favorite draft format that I've played so far. Singing in the rain, go squatter on your land. Now you can't really attack, and I'll block anything else you got. MH1 was incredible. Yeah, MH1 was, in my opinion, it's the best draft format that I've played. A lot of people say that it's Dominaria, and I did draft Dominaria like 4 or 5 times, and I thought it was a lot of fun. But like MH1 was, I don't know, it was just incredible. Yeah, I'm really hoping that MH2 is as good as MH1 was. Did look like you enjoyed Hammerman. Yeah, no, for sure. I think that this deck is a lot of fun. I think that my opponent's build is pretty bad, and they played game 1 very poorly as well. It's a lot more. It's a lot harder to play than it looked at first. Than it looks at first sight. Whenever you get nut drawn, it's just like, oh yeah, that's like the stupid deck, blah 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 blah. But in reality, that's just not how most games play out. Supposedly gonna have fetchlands in MH2. I don't think it's like impossible, but I also don't think it's necessary. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy clap. Ribbons are kind of necessary. Yeah, I'm not saying that that's not true. Definitely not saying that that's not true. But at the same time, you know, paper magic kind of doesn't exist right now. And I don't know how good it is to have those kind of... I don't know, it's weird, you know. I think it's okay. I think that you can definitely have fetch lands in the new set, but I don't think that they add too much, like as far as the format goes, unless you have something with like synergies. Like for example, I remember that my best MH1 draft, I pack one, pick one Ren, and then I found Prismatic Vista and 3 cycling lands. That was the easiest 3-0 that I ever had. It was playing on easy mode, honestly. Like first pick Ren with Prismatic Vista, and then just like I was drawing like 2 cards a turn for the rest of the matches. It was kind of ridiculous. They should reprint Steel Shaper GIF. I mean, I don't think that they can do that, Kenpachi, because like that card spiked now. So I am pretty sure that MH2 has been in design for like 2 years or something like that. That's how they work. So it's not gonna be in the set like that. That's just not a thing. A Vista and a Ren, people like you take all the joy in the world. Yeah, exactly. Hobby for most snow cards. Not sure if we get an MH2. I doubt it. I doubt it, since they already used the snow theme for MH1, and now they are using it for for Kaldheim, so it seems like they would be milking snow a little bit too much. I really wish that we could find room for the 4th Karn in the main deck. I don't think we can, though. Horizon's probably not the correct set anyway. Maybe to go back to Dominarium. Yeah, maybe. Let's try this again. But first, because before we do that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll be back. See you later.